Alrighty, hey yo, what's up guys, Louis Stricker here, and today, I haven't done one of these videos in a while, but we are be doing another coaster fight, and I thought that I finished two amazing, awesome looking coasters in my world that I really like, and really nice additions to the amusement park world. And I thought a new coaster fight would be between Yukon Striker, the world's tallest dive coaster coming to 2019 to Canada Wonderland, and the Steel Curtain going to Kennywood in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's going to have be 220 feet tall and have 9 awesome inversions. These two rides look amazing, and I think I'll even be able to buy both of these eventually sometime in summer 2019, so I'm really excited about riding them once they eventually get open. And both rides are looking amazing in real life right now, and they also look incredible recreations in Minecraft as well that I made, and I thought these two would be perfect coasters to do coaster fights for. So we have 15 categories that we'll be fighting for. It'll be the height category, speed, duration, supports, waiting line, riding, loading station, and a new one is entranceway, aiming, and then another new one is inversions, and logo, lag, scenery, exit, layout, and then we give our overall experience. So like all the numbers up together, dividing all those numbers up by 150, and then you get a total experience number out of 10. So see which coaster wins in the end, and we'll be starting off, of course, with the height category. So let's see in the end which coaster will win the coaster fight. Yeah. Alright, so our first category is going to be the height category, and what I did to find out the height category is that I have this coaster called Legendary Evolution, and it's 187 blocks tall in my world. So what I did is I divided the total amount of blocks tall that this ride is, which it is, we can see right here that the highest point of it is this iron bar right here, which would be 77 blocks tall, and I divided that by 187, and also I did the total block amount for Steel Curtain over there, which was 69 blocks tall as highest point, and I divided both of those by 187, and then for Yukon Striker we got 4.12 out of 10, and then Steel Curtain 3.69 out of 10. So Yukon Striker wins the category a little bit higher. Yukon Striker is about 8 blocks taller than Steel Curtain, but they are pretty similar in their heights, and you can see right here that there's proof that the highest point for Steel Curtain is only 69 blocks tall, and it's right here. So yeah, both of them are pretty close in their heights, but in the end, Yukon Striker just barely gets to win the height category, so good job, Yukon Striker. Next we have is the speed category, and how the speed category works is I find out if there's like any points in the ride that I really feel like it shouldn't be like slowing down there, like any points, or like if the ride like purposely is supposed to like hang you over the edge like how Yukon Striker does, and that makes sense, or like if there's supposed to be like a little breaking point that slows you down there and then drops you over, then that makes sense why it slows down there. But if there's like some points where I feel like it's getting like slowed down maybe like too much, or maybe like it's going too fast for the area, then I got some points down. In both these rides, I really don't feel like there's any moments in the ride where like it's not supposed to be like going like too fast in that area, or is going like too slow in the area. I feel like the speeds for both Yukon Striker and Steel Curtain are amazing, like speeds in my opinion. I feel like their speeds for both of like all the elements and stuff like that were very nice. It goes through the ride very well for both of these rides, so I feel like the score that I have to give both of these rides are 10 out of 10, so good job both Yukon Striker and Steel Curtain. Our next category is the duration category, and how I figure out the duration category is, so my longest coaster in this world is Legendary Evolution, and its duration is 20 minutes and 28 seconds. So what I do is I time the 60 seconds from the 20 minutes, and I got 1,200 seconds, and then add on the 28 seconds. So I divide whatever the duration was. So Steel Curtain's duration, I believe, was 2 minutes and 39 seconds, and then Yukon Striker's duration was 2 minutes and 31 seconds. So I added up the seconds, and once I got the total amount of seconds, I divided them both by the 1,228, because that's the longest ride in my world, Legendary Evolution. And then I got the numbers you see here for Steel Curtain, we have 1.29 out of 10, and then over here, Yukon Striker, we only have 1.29 out of 10. So the durations are only like 8 seconds apart. It's not like a really big like duration kind of like gap, but in the end, Steel Curtain over there actually gets to win the duration category. It's just a little bit longer than Yukon Striker, so whack to Yukon Striker. Next category we have is the supports category, and you're probably wondering like, Luigi, I felt like you did the Yukon Striker like supports perfectly. They look so dang good. Like, why are you like not giving Yukon Striker a 10 out of 10? Well, my perspective of why Yukon Striker actually gets a lower score in this category is mostly because it's just plain looking supports, like normal supports you've probably seen like any kind of like steel coaster, or maybe like even like a dive coaster or something like that. Just plain looking supports, not like really any like really unique kind of looking supports. That pretty much kind of has some of the same supports like as Valraven does, like the dive coaster at Cedar Point. But if we go over to Steel Curtain, the reason why this ride's getting a 10 out of 10, but I'm just gonna say right now, Yukon Striker supports are still pretty good. That's why I'm still giving it like an 8 out of 10 though. The Steel Curtain supports are so dang unique. They look so freaking cool. Like these supports here, like oh my gosh, like how like the supports like the banana roll, that looks like really unique. And the main structure supports here, my gosh, like these supports here are really complicated and they look really unique. And even like some of the supports back here look freaking awesome. They're so dang unique from any other like roller coasters in the realm. So that's why I'm giving Steel Curtain the better score in this category, and Yukon Striker is getting the lower score. Whack, whack. Next we have is the waiting line category, and frankly, the reason why pretty much both Yukon Striker and Steel Curtain, the waiting lines are pretty similar. It just gets like connected from like the entranceway and then goes like the square block and then gets connected to the loading station afterwards. That's how similar they are. But the reason why Steel Curtain's like is like 1 point lower than Yukon Striker is just because like where like the waiting line's located, because the waiting line is not really like anywhere like near the ride, and you're like getting like up close. Actually, like the reports like really high up or something like that. The only kind of like supports on the ride you actually see going for the waiting line is this ending point, obviously. So there's nothing really too special about this waiting line. But the thing I like about Yukon Striker's waiting line is you really get like what's cool is that you actually get to go under like the second inversion here. And also you get to go completely under like this lift hill here, and it's really cool to actually be able to look up and see like the lift you're going to. And I even like how it like connects and you go into like this part of like the loading station here, which is pretty dang cool in my opinion. So that's why Yukon Striker is like, the waiting lines are pretty dang similar in my opinion. So that's why I'm not really giving too much of a point difference. So Yukon Striker gets a 6 out of 10. And Steel Curtain gets a 5 out of 10. Now we are on to the lighting category, and I'm pretty sure like this is an obvious category. Both of these rides are amazing with their lighting. They illuminate at night. The lighting makes it look so damn good at night. I love how like it just completely shines at night. There's like so much like lighting. It's crazy how cool like both of these rides look with their lighting. So I feel like they deserve pretty much the same score. There's like nothing really else to say about like the lighting category. They both illuminate at night. The entranceways illuminate at night. The whole ride illuminates at night. The support, like pretty much everything except maybe like the grass detail right now, like illuminates at night. But the grass detail's not even important. So both of these rides are just going to be getting a 10 out of 10 for the lighting category because their lighting is so damn amazing. So good job, both rides. Next we have is the loading station category, and the reason why like Yukon Striker really does not really get a great score for the loading station category, like I only gave it like a 6 out of 10, mostly because it's just a plain ordinary looking loading station. I mean, like obviously maybe it's not going to look as this plain like in real life, but so far like when I saw from the animated view, which I was basing this on, the loading station like just does not look really good. And I guess the roof design is okay, but there's not really like much to really say about Yukon Striker Steel Curtain's loading station. But we could definitely say a lot about Yukon Striker's loading station though, because my gosh, Yukon Striker's loading station, I'm not even sure if it's going to be really like look this cool like in real life, but for what I saw from the anime POV and like what I recreated, like this loading station is like so dang unique. I love how the rooftops are designed, like the little part of the building like up here too is really nice looking, and I love like how it looks like all like abandoned looking with all like different like little brown rust colors to it. And definitely the inside of the loading station, I love the detail and like some like the fallen like stone and stuff like that, which is also kind of part of the waiting line. The loading station of all like the little like grass moss everywhere and stuff like that, or vines, whatever the heck you call it in Minecraft. But definitely Yukon Striker as a loading station definitely gets a way better score than Steel Curtain. So I was actually kind of like generous to the score I gave to Steel Curtain's loading station, but definitely Yukon Striker gets a perfect 10 out of 10 and Steel Curtain only gets a 6 out of 10 for the loading station. Next category we have is the entranceway category, and both of these rides, I have to say, they have pretty dang really cool like entranceways. But in my opinion, I actually do like Yukon Striker's entranceway a little bit more than Steel Curtain's entranceway, because I love the amount of designs like at the sides and in the middle part of like the cool stone and light details, like the Y and S representing Yukon Striker in the middle, and I love like the little like clouds in the sky of like the sea lanterns all on the back of them. And even like the back design, I mean, it's maybe not as cool as the front design, but it's still like pretty nice with the stone detail and such. I mean, Steel Curtain's design is also pretty dang cool. Like, I love like all the black and white like patterns around how they design all the entranceway, even in the middle of all like the different like colors of like the logo and like all the different colors of like the logo in the middle, and the entranceways like connecting to both of these reds are also, the pathways connecting to both of these entranceways are pretty dang good. But I feel like yeah, definitely Yukon Striker's entranceway is a little bit more unique than Steel Curtain's way, but both of the entranceways are pretty good. I mean, the size of them doesn't really matter that much to me. It's just how actually detailed and nice they look, in my opinion. So I'm only giving Steel Curtain like 1 more point down, and Yukon Striker is getting a perfect 10 out of 10. So Yukon Striker wins the entranceway category. Whoop, whoop. Next we have is the theming category, and frankly, Steel Curtain, I really don't see a lot of theming with this ride. I mean, I know it's themed off of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but in Minecraft, there's not really like a lot of like theming like to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because I'm not gonna make like the whole Steel Countries area into Minecraft. Maybe if there's like some other Steelers areas around the ride, then maybe it'd be. Maybe the theming will be going up a little bit more, but frankly, there's not much really theming for this ride, but I guess their entranceway and maybe the ride colors and stuff like that, I guess could be theming to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but there's not a lot of theming to that. But Yukon Striker's theming is definitely pretty good, like the cool mountain, and then like having like the theming like where like you're dropping into the tunnel down there, like that's pretty cool right there. And I definitely like the theming of like the like creepy. I like the creepiness of like the loading station too. I really like the theming of how that looks too for Yukon Striker. Definitely like all the old, and definitely makes you feel like you're in like an old like decrepit like kind of like building with like moss or like vines and like growing up the sides of like the buildings and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like Yukon Striker definitely gets a better like score at the theming, because I think I could tell there is a little bit more theming with Yukon Striker, like the entranceway and the loading station, maybe even like the first drop of the ride. That's what I think. So Yukon Striker wins this theming category by 4 points. So good job, Yukon Striker, once again. Next we have is the inversion category, and obviously the easy way how to figure out how many inversions are on a coaster is to count them. So you gotta see there's one version there, then there's the second version, and then a loop there, and then a twist over there. And that's only 4 versions for Yukon Striker. And if we go over to Steel Curtain, we have an inversion up there, then you have the inversion going to the banana roll, and then going back down, going up, inversion right there, inversion right there. Goes twist up there, 6, there's 7, and then there's 8, and then over here, and then there's 9. So Steel Curtain has 9 inversions, and Yukon Striker has 4 inversions. And the coaster in my world that has the most inversions out of any other coaster in my world is, once again, Legendary Evolution. I know that coaster's crazy. It has like the longest duration, it has the highest like its highest coaster in the world, and also has the most inversions on any coaster in the world. And it has 27 inversions, so I divide 4 for Yukon Striker to 27, and 9 divided by 27 for Steel Curtain, and Steel Curtain wins this category with 3.33 out of 10 points, and then Yukon Striker only gets 1.48 out of 10 points for this category. So good job, Steel Curtain, for winning this category of inversions, and Yukon Striker for losing this category of inversions. Whack whack. Next we have is the logo category, and frankly, both of these logos look amazing in my opinion. I love the recreations I did with the logos, but if we're probably going to go with a little bit more in detail, like of the logos and stuff like that, definitely Steel Curtain has a better, like, definitely looking logo. Because all Yukon Striker is, it just has the words. I didn't really add, like the bird thing, like the mountain on top. I mean, I could have done that, but then I definitely would not have been able to get this right a lot quicker and show it off to you guys. I mean, the words look pretty cool. I love how they're designed to Minecraft and stuff like that, but they're definitely not as cool as, like, the Steel Curtain logo here, because it's definitely a whole lot taller than it, so you can definitely see it like more when you're like coming to it. And then it has like the cool like whatever the heck that thing is on the top right there, lol. So yeah, definitely I feel like Steel Curtain's logo definitely will get a 10 out of 10, and Yukon Striker logo will get an 8 out of 10. So good job, Steel Curtain, for winning the logo category. Next we have is the lag category, and frankly, there's not really much to say about the lag category, but mostly the way how I find out the lag category is to see if there's like any parts while riding the ride, like it's really lagged, or maybe like when I'm passing by, if I'm like lagging back at all. Frankly, obviously, as you can tell, like while I'm flying through Yukon Striker, and then I go over to fly through Steel Curtain, there is literally no lag at all. Like when I'm flying through these coasters, probably the only lag I probably get from these coasters is when I don't have really good internet connection, obviously. But when I have good internet connection, and I don't feel like there's any lag when I'm going by these coasters. So both of these coasters get an easy 10 out of 10 for the lag code. So good job, both Yukon Striker and Steel Curtain. Next we have is the scenery category, and literally both of these rides, their scenery is definitely not the greatest, but definitely the grass detail around it does look pretty good. But usually how I kind of calculate scenery is I usually like when there's like a bunch of trees around the ride, but the only reason why I actually don't have trees around these rides at the moment is because there could possibly maybe be some other coasters like pretty close to it, and then it would feel stupid like to have to get rid of a bunch of trees maybe if I'm making like a coaster like pretty close to these on both of these rides. So the scenery is not really like the greatest for these rides right now, but I'll still give them like the same scores of like 5 out of 10, and maybe eventually when I decide to add trees around the rides, and definitely those scores will probably definitely get up to 10 out of 10 for both of these rides. So for now it's only 5 out of 10 just because it's only just grassy terrain, but definitely if there's trees added, maybe even like some other cool little like scenery details, it will definitely get up all the way to a 10 out of 10. So yeah, both 5 out of 10s for both of these rides for scenery. Next we have is the exit category, and as you can see, Yukon Striker's exit is definitely a lot cooler than Steel Curtain's on exit, because you actually like get to like this is actually part of the exit because you actually get to go out of the loading station here, and then you go out and around, and you even get to go like around like your first like inversion through like the tunnel there. It's definitely pretty cool. It's definitely an exit, definitely a pretty nice exit lane. It even has like a nice little like stand right there. So definitely, like both of the exits are like maybe not like extremely good, but obviously you can see Yukon Striker's exit had like a little more like effort put into it. And all Steel Curtain's exit is just going staircase down and then curve over to your entrance ways over there. I don't even like that cool detail. So Yukon Striker gets just one more point to Steel Curtains, because I feel like exit category is not really like a huge like factor, like why these courses are really big enough. So 4 out of 10 for Yukon Striker, and Steel Curtain a 3 out of 10 for the exit. So good job for both of the rides, I suppose, but Yukon Striker definitely has the better exit. Next we have is the layout category, and you're probably wondering, Luigi, why the heck is Yukon Striker not getting a 10 out of 10? The layout for this ride is freaking phenomenal. This ride looks so dang good. You even did like an amazing recreation of both of these rides. Why are you giving Yukon Striker the lower score here? Well, let me explain. The first part of the ride, definitely going down into like the little lake there and going out of like the tunnel and the inversions and the vertical loop and the curve around are good. Then the second part of the ride, I mean, it still is a really nice recreation of it, but all it really is just slows you down, going down a little drop and a little curve around and just gets you back into the station. There's nothing really that special about the second part of the ride, so the first part of the ride for Yukon Striker is amazing though, but definitely the second part of the ride is meh, in my opinion. So that's why Yukon Striker is only getting 2 points down, but its layout is still pretty dang good. But if we go over to Steel Curtain, the layout for this whole ride here is just really dang good in my opinion, because I love how the inversions work out, going down, and the inversion dropping all the way down there, going into a banana roll, and then going through these wacky other inversions you go through as well until you eventually get to the breaking point back here. Even going over the waiting line, which I think was pretty cool in my opinion, and then curve around back into the loading station there. So the layout for Steel Curtain is definitely a lot, because definitely the layout for the whole ride looks really dang cool, and it doesn't seem like any part of the layout looks bad in my opinion. So that's why Steel Curtain wins the layout category by a perfect 10 out of 10, and Yukon Striker only gets an 8 out of 10. Alright, we have tallied up all the points, we did all the categories, and now we finally have a victor for this 7th episode of Coaster Fights. And I'm at the grass near at the roller coaster who won the coaster fight, and the coaster that won the coaster fight is shaky recording and a little crappy drum roll, I know, just the recording back just to show the screen better. And we have Yukon Striker is our winner of the coaster fight between Yukon Striker and Steel Curtain, obviously. Yukon Striker, definitely, both of these rides are phenomenal in my opinion. I love both recreations of these rides, but definitely, if you're going for all the stats and stuff like that, and how the rides look and stuff like that, Yukon Striker barely, like, not really barely, it wins by a couple of points, but it does win the coaster fight. So let me go over PT, guys. So some of like the scores for Yukon Striker. So Yukon Striker got 4.12 out of 10 for height, speed 10 out of 10, duration 1.2 out of 10, supports 8 out of 10, waiting line 6 out of 10, lighting 10 out of 10, loading station 10 out of 10, entrance way 10 out of 10, theming 6 out of 10, inversions 1.48 out of 10, logo 8 out of 10, lag 10 out of 10, scenery 5 out of 10, exit 4 out of 10, layout 8 out of 10, and then your overall experience, adding all those points up together, would be 6.79 out of 10, which is actually a pretty good overall experience. Definitely having around the 6 to 10 range around the overall experience is definitely a pretty good rating, and it's definitely pretty close to getting to the 7, which is definitely really good in my opinion. And if we go over to our loser, Steel Curtain over here, here's the scores that it got, but it was pretty close, because yeah, I'll tell you the overall experience difference in a couple seconds, alright? So the height category got 3.69 out of 10, speed got 10 out of 10, duration got 1.29 out of 10, supports 10 out of 10, waiting line 5 out of 10, lighting 10 out of 10, loading station 6 out of 10, entrance wait 9 out of 10, viewing 2 out of 10, versions 3.33 out of 10, logo 10 out of 10, lag 10 out of 10, scenery 5 out of 10, exit 3 out of 10, layout 10 out of 10, and then overall experience would be 6.55 out of 10, and our overall experience difference between the two is only 0.24, which is not that bad at all. And also, if we add up all the points together, it would be 101.83 out of 150 for Yukon Striker, and then 98.31 out of 150 for Steel Curtain. So there isn't really much of points difference between both of these rides. Both of these rides are definitely really good, but definitely Yukon Striker just has a little bit better stats than our ride Steel Curtain over here. So yep, Yukon Striker wins the coaster fight, and Steel Curtain does lose this coaster fight, sadly. But both of these coasters, I'm really excited for to see in real life, and definitely both of them, once again, are really good in Minecraft. So thank you guys for watching on this coaster fight video. I know I haven't done one of these in a while, but I'm thinking of hopefully being able to do at least one coaster fight every single month. Maybe 2, I don't know. But definitely at least 1 every single month. So maybe I'll get some new coasters on made. Maybe if Creepy Jackson gets some new coasters, maybe we'll do like some my coasters versus Creepy Jackson's coasters and see who will come up on the top. Hope you guys enjoyed this coaster fight, and I'll be seeing you guys in some more roller coaster videos in the future on my channel, alright? See you guys then!